Test the microphone, test it.
Hello?
That looks like it's there. Should we put a beep in just to annoy you? Probably talk. Yeah.
You muted it, haven't you? We can't hear the intro.
Yeah, I don't know what I was doing there.
Hello! Welcome to number 109. We're still here and we're still talking about games and Paddy's still confused.
Oh shit, yeah, I know why it's silent, because I was using Audition to record the soundtracks for my YouTube videos. So I had the sound...
Was that a subtle plug from YouTube? I've still not watched the YouTube video, I'll be honest. I always see them pop up while I'm at work, and unfortunately while I'm at work I can't really do anything.
I know.
And then when I get home I don't...
No, yeah, go watch the YouTube videos, it's just me playing games. There's nothing special there.
There you go. Well sold.
Yeah.
If you want to get in touch, you can find Paddy on Twitter as DrunkenGamer, and I'm D_Gow, and the podcast, the whole site thing is 8-Bit Alliance. Feel free to send us random crap, songs, stories about almost crashing your truck.
Yeah, we do.
The censoring beep too loud.
Do apologise for last week's beep. Now, this is a very slapdash podcast, as you're well aware, and editing is not my forte. In fact, we don't do it very often. In fact,
I tried it once to get rid of pops and whistles, and it added more.
No, so. I think there's been 2 or 3 episodes where I've had to go in and cut chunks out because you've said stuff that you shouldn't.
Yeah. I'm not very...
They were in the early...
I don't think before I speak, that's the problem.
No, they were the early days when you were deliberately being a cunt.
Oh, right.
Because you remember...
Oh, yes.
the early days when you thought this was only going to be a couple of months worth of pissing about, and you thought you'd...
And then it continued.
Yeah, and then we just kept going.
Yeah. Anyway, this is where if we did editing, we'd have solemn music playing in the background.
Yeah.
And we'd be there, kind of.
We would be properly apologising for the fact that the beep sound that I used to hide certain names in a certain story last week was about 4 times louder than, because I went back and listened to it after Trevor sent us the message. Yeah, the volume of those beeps was at least 4 times that of the bass sound.
And
so
I think Paddy almost killed Trevor.
Yeah.
Our die-hard listener.
Yeah, apparently listening to it in the car is not a good idea when it suddenly goes beep! Yeah.
Oh well. And from bad news to bad news.
Yeah, sticking on with bad news now. Getting our stories together is a bit of
things are going to go horribly wrong from this point onwards.
Yeah. On the 1st of June... Google will be shutting down Google Reader. Now, while this may not be gaming news, it is bad news for this podcast. For the simple fact that the majority of the stories I get come from RSS feeds.
We survive on Google Reader.
Yeah, all of my gaming news comes via RSS feeds because I don't have time to go and dredge each site manually. I can flick through headlines in an RSS feed. That's an interesting story, I'll read that. And Google Reader is the best place to do it because it amalgamates them all into one feed.
There's one thing I don't understand about this, though, because obviously Google, they know their stats, they know how many people are using Google Reader. But pretty much every other major RSS provider or amalgamator or whatever they are was overrun today. So many of them, their servers crashed because people are moving across and testing new ones. If there's that many people, they can crash multiple services...
The best thing is...
How is Reader not successful?
All of the reader feeders... all of the reader feeders?
No, call them reader feeders, it sounds brilliant.
The majority of them power themselves from Google Reader. There's Flipboard will die because it's primarily fed from Google Reader.
Bad times.
I don't know what we're going to use.
What are you going to do, Paddy?
I don't know. Maybe you're going to have to pull your finger out and actually pick some fucking stories.
Join in. I read at least one of these this week. Maybe 2.
Reading one while I was in the bathroom having a piss doesn't count.
No, but while at work. The problem is, I work in a place where they're very much behind the times, and they think that by putting a block or a firewall in place that's overly rigid, it's going to stop people from looking at things they shouldn't be looking at.
Yeah. That's why I use Google Reader as well. Ours just sees it as Google traffic.
Oh, I wish I thought about that. Well, apparently, they think that's a good idea to stop people. What actually happens, though, the staff that are going to piss about on the phones.
Yeah.
And those that are actually on the dinner break and just wanting to waste a bit of time, can't. Anyway, rant over. I can't look at anything with game in the title.
So just take your tablet to work.
I can't. Well, I can, but it's too much effort.
But yeah, Google Reader going away. Bad news. We will try and keep this transition from damaging the podcast.
It will be seamless. You won't see a drop in quality. Let's face it. Come on, they won't.
There's not much lower we can go.
No.
So where are we going to go first? We've got this list of stories.
Well, SimCity will follow up from last week because SimCity has had an absolutely awful time.
Oh, it's had a piss poor week. Yeah, it had its bad servers. The UK servers launched not as badly.
No,
they were still unstable.
We had a waiting room.
Yeah, we had our waiting room, but that didn't actually save anything. It had stability issues still, and a few glitches as a result. Oh, there's one or two screenshots of just cities that have misbuilt themselves because of server glitches.
Brilliant.
So, because tower blocks are tall, but it detected that only one part of it had been built. There's this mountain with a single house on top of it. Or even better, is the tower block on top of a single house, because it detected the single house being built and didn't detect its deletion when it put a tower block there instead.
This sounds brilliant.
This
sounds like the city of the future.
The social things are a bit weird as well, because when you're in the same region, your characters can go affect another city.
Alright.
And people are complaining just basically, why does nobody coming from the other city do anything other than loot and fucking murder? It's just the criminals are all...
Can you imagine that? Honey, I'm away on business this weekend. Comes back covered in cuts, grazes and loads of loot. It's like the real world.
But yeah, it got that bad at one point that Amazon pulled it from the store. And it was off the Amazon store for about 3 days. Until they deemed it as stable enough to sell.
It's bad times, isn't it, really, when Amazon pull your game? Because Amazon will sell any old shit.
Yeah, Amazon will sell some right shit. But yeah, the Origin, they demanded refunds for the digital version, and EA said, yeah, fuck you. And eventually did, 2 days later, offer free PC games to any SimCity player who emailed in between this window and that window.
You see, one person actually managed to get a refund. He sent a letter to, is it Ken Levine? Is it Levine? No, Ricky Otello.
Yeah.
And one of the guys who actually produced the game.
Yeah.
And just spammed those two, just saying, look, this is god awful. I don't want to have to pay for this. I'm not. It wasn't aggressive in any way. It was just stating the facts.
Yeah.
They passed it on to the care team. Somebody called him. They went through everything they could to get it working. Said, obviously, you wanted this game. You pre-ordered it. You must want this game. We'll do everything we can to appease you. We're working our ass off to get it fixed. In the end, he got a refund because he waited out as long as he could. But I'm amazed that you have to actually contact
the CEO,
one of the CEOs, to get a refund. I mean, that's just.
But yeah, they've had a bad week. So that started off with all the server troubles. The server troubles are apparently now fading away. They're getting less, but they're still there. They're not perfect, but they're stable.
Yeah, it sounds like they just didn't account for the amount of people that would want to play SimCity.
Well,
but
there is that, or well, you're right. One of the PR people did try and spin it that way. The exact quote that was sent out was,
"This is a good one. It's amusing.
What we saw were players having such a good time that they didn't want to leave the game, which kept our servers packed and made it more difficult for new players to join."
Bullshit. That's up there with the beep. You've just made Trevor crash again.
That is That is PR gold.
Our game is so awesome, you broke it.
That is
no.
That is PR 101. Basically, it is up there with don't tell sites you're never going to get review code again. Don't tell sites to change their review score.
Let's put this in another context. Imagine this in another industry. You buy a car, you're driving it across country, and all 4 wheels fall off. Can you imagine? Well, you're enjoying our car so much, it fell apart.
The wheels couldn't... Yeah, you were driving it so much that the wheels couldn't cope.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's all your fault for having too much fun and wanting to drive too badly.
It's really, this was just a god-awful excuse.
Yeah, that guy clearly got fired.
If he hasn't, he should.
That guy must have got fired.
No, come on, this is EA. He's been promoted. He's higher up now, you just know.
Oh, fuck, it wasn't PR.
What?
PR would have known better, that's why. It was senior producer. It was the game senior producer. Basically, he got off, and there's a PR guy stood by and said, "You said what?"
So basically, he patted himself on the back so loud the internet heard it. Basically, unbelievable. But yeah, he's never making a game. And it's Maxis though. If you're senior producer, he's senior producer at Maxis. Which, granted, it's EA owned. Maxis should know better.
Yeah, they haven't really got many servers.
I wonder how much of Maxis still exists as... Because obviously they have a good history. They have some flops as well.
Yeah, but they do also have the well, I don't know. It can't be the same team because I don't think the proper team would bullshit as much as they have in the last week. Because Maxis have said, because there's all these campaigns to get it offline mode for single player at least, and the Maxis people have stepped forward and said, no, we have no intention of making it. We have no intention of offering SimCity, offline SimCity, anytime soon, but we'll look into that as part of our earning back your trust efforts. So we're basically
trust has completely gone out.
Yeah, we're not doing it, and we want to get your trust back, but we kind of Ubisoft you.
Well, EA have such a good reputation to start with that.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
This was said at the same time as the statement. The server problems are almost behind us, and the game crashes have apparently been reduced to 92%.
They've been reduced by 92%.
Ah.
Which isn't really... It's not brilliant. Let's be honest. There shouldn't be...
Hang on. Let's work this out.
8% of games.
There's 8% of games have crashed, and they're actually also touting the fact that they have 1 million gameplay hours logged by users.
8 million.
Sorry, 8 million gameplay hours logged.
Yeah,
so 8% problem rate, 8 million hours. 1 million of those hours have to have therefore been people trying to log back in when the servers kicked them out.
Yeah, that's the thing. What it doesn't count here is this is just people sat in a queue.
Yeah.
Nobody's played the game. They've just been sat in a queue.
But yeah, they continued the bullshit by stepping forward and...
Oh man, we're getting on the gamers' side here, despite the fact that neither of us have played it and haven't suffered personally at this game.
I think SimCity got as good as it needed in 4.
Yeah, I'm
SimCity
totally going to nod and smile to that.
SimCity 4 was brilliant. If you want an even better game, Cities XL.
I played SimCity 2000, I think.
SimCity 2000 was pretty good as well.
That was I think 98, Windows 98. I played that on, maybe. It came in a CD case. It was that old.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Well, basically, as part of the PR bullshit from the studio head, they stepped forward and tried to explain that it had to be done in online mode, as they offload a significant amount of the calculations to our servers.
Significant.
Yeah, and it would take...
Sorry, carry on.
Where the hell did that come from?
That was the noise you just made. I was just repeating it. We'll go back and listen. You went significant. Sorry, carry on.
I'm looking for someone to beat you over the head with. Last week it was Frozen Throne. It would take a significant amount of engineering work from our team here to rewrite the game for single player. Now this was fine until a SimCity developer got in touch with Rock Paper Shotgun and basically said it's not true. The servers are not handling any of the computation done to simulate your city you are playing. They are still acting as servers, doing some amount of computations to route messages to various types between both players and cities. As well, they're doing cloud storage of saved games, interfacing with Origin. But as for the game itself, no, they're not doing anything. I have no idea why they're claiming otherwise. It's possible that Bradshaw was misunderstood or misinformed. Otherwise, I'm clueless.
Nice.
Because of the way Glassbox was designed, simulation data has to go through a different pathway. Blah 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 blah. It wouldn't take much engineering to give you a limited single-player game without all the nifty region stuff.
The thing is, though, if a game actually does something worthwhile with the online connectivity, I'm all for it.
Yeah. Spore.
Yeah.
Spore was brilliant. It didn't require online all the time. But once you got into the galactic stage, it actually had a benefit to being online because all the things that were populated out there were things that other people had created. Unfortunately, 90% of them were penises and the other 10% were Homer Simpson.
Yeah. Well, my only issue with all of this, and I can tie the Simpsons into this speech, EA are not good at this kind of online nonsense. Even their mobile Simpsons game, see what I'm telling you, had issues from day one. It's a mobile game, for God's sake. All you need to be able to do is just quickly go to the server and it just uploads your save game.
Yep.
Why the fuck do people have to queue to get into a game? I mean, it shouldn't be... If you have cloud servers, they should scale. That's the point of cloud. That's the benefit of cloud.
Yep.
If they're trying to tell us that they've gone to the maximum of their cloud setup, fuck it, bung it on Amazon.
Yeah.
They have a bigger cloud setup. Clearly.
AW3. I looked into AW3 for a couple of things. If the site was more popular, I'd actually do it.
It's not that expensive, is it?
It's really cheap, but really, really fast. Anyway, as if to prove a point, a hacker has now managed to bypass the online capabilities and allows you to play the game in offline mode. It's also removed several restrictions from the single-player campaign that don't need to be there, that shouldn't be there, like the fact that the area that you can build a city in is pitiful in the single-player game online. That restriction isn't there in the hacked mode.
Nice.
Unfortunately, the only downside is he hasn't worked out how to make the game save yet to anything other than the cloud.
Huh. But still, that's a start. Basically, he's playing this game offline.
Yeah, playing the game offline and it's continuing and everything's happening, and so proof was needed that all they need to do is hack the save game.
So yeah, they lied, surprisingly. I think people already knew, didn't they?
I would be surprised if it didn't get a single player if they don't patch it in. If they don't patch it in, then when it finally gets pirated and the hackers make it work, then I might actually play it. It will be the first game in 4 years that I've properly pirated.
Which goes against the whole thing of DRM, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Which is amusing, but never mind. Shall we move on from something more upbeat? Road Rash.
Arse monkeys.
No, I'll go with Road Rash.
I'm answering your tweet.
Oh, right. Arse monkeys. That was difficult. That's just going to be confusing for people. Road Rash, the old classic from the 16-bit era.
It was Mega Drive.
Yeah, so 16-bit era. It was an awesome little game. Everyone loved Road Rash. In fact, I can't think of anyone that didn't like Road Rash. Basically, you ride around on superbikes, hit people with various weapons that you get along the way, And I seem to remember there was some racing involved as well. As far as I remember, there was a point.
Right,
to
basically,
going fast.
it was motorbike racing. You were on the race with, I think you usually started in about 20th place.
Yeah, you just started at the back, didn't you?
Yeah.
You just had to race.
And as you raced to the front, you could, as well as racing your bike, you had to deal with the other racers who would punch you, kick you, and in 1 and 2 would use bats, chains, whips.
Yeah, pretty much anything they can get their hands on. I can't wait.
It was a bit annoying that in 3 that they got rid of all the weapons and just went for pure punching.
No, I don't remember 3. I played this on Mega Drive.
It was the end of the Mega Drive life cycle. People had already moved on by that point.
I think PlayStation 1 I had a version.
Yeah.
And it had is it Lenny Kravitz as a song, the main song? I want to get away. I'm not going to sing because I'm awful at singing. But either way, Road Rash. Somebody put on Reddit, why has this never been remade?
Yeah,
and somewhere within this thread, this is how rare it is. Both me and Paddy were watching this thread on Reddit.
Yeah.
And one of the original developer,
the creator popped
of
up and went,
I quite fancy making another.
Well, no, basically...
I've had 20 years off.
Basically what he said is the reason there wasn't another made after Road Rash 3 is because I was burnt out on the series. 20 years down the line, I'm now about ready to get back on the horse if I can get the rights back from Activision. Or is it EA?
Whoever's got them. I would guess Activision.
EA.
Oh, yeah. Oh. I don't ever remember EA's name being on that, but either way, if he can get the rights to it, I'm sure everyone will be happy to get it, but it has to be kept simple.
Yeah.
This is not a game that would do well from a modern remake.
No, it needs to go back. It need up the graphics, but keep the same gameplay. Keep the same automatically turning track. You don't even have to steer around the corners. That's what I loved.
Well, it did do that, but I'm sure to some degree you had to guide it a little bit.
Yeah, you had to guide it a little bit, but if you leant into the corners, you went around the corner faster. But if you just kept in a straight line, you'd keep going, and you would get around that corner. But you wouldn't get around that corner as fast as if you leant. The one thing I love about this, loved about Road Rage,
I've set you off on this now.
It's one of those little things that doesn't happen anymore. Games have been oversimplified, made overly easy. When you crashed in Road Rash,
you had to go and chase your bike.
Yes!
I remember this now. It was great to be going 200 mile an hour. The bike could be like 3 miles back, and you've lost the race by the time you get back.
Yeah, but that's what actually happens when you crash.
No, it doesn't. You die if you crash at 200 miles an hour.
At that speed, but if you were to crash at that speed and somehow survive, your bike would be elsewhere.
Yeah, there's very little chance of it being.
Either if your bike would be where it was, and you would be elsewhere, or the bike would be elsewhere and you would be where you were. But either way, you'd have to run back to your bike.
I forgot how amazing this game was. I mean, the thing is the soundtracks as well. Things like Lenny Kravitz, you had Soundgarden. There was just classic songs on there. Stupid weapons. It wasn't in any way sensible, but it was an awesome game. And it may be making a comeback if he can get the rights.
Yeah,
if he can get the rights, no.
Yeah, basically he's interested in doing it again, and yeah, he's got to get. He is of the opinion though that EA he shouldn't have many problems getting the rights back from EA because this type of game is no longer in their core portfolio.
Yeah,
it's not on their roadmap, and if to see it back, I'd happily take an EA game to get that back if it was done right.
This is the problem though, because think about it, the generation that play
EA games, no, you can't have it because they'd microtransaction the fucker.
Yeah, they would. Oh dear, you just put a downer on the whole thing. What could have been a really upbeat, let's go ride motorbikes at 200 miles an hour, hit a speed bump and fly off the screen, has now become...
It won't come back as a proper game. It won't come back... wrong words there. It won't come back as a console game. This is mobile.
Yeah, definitely.
This is this generation's mobile, because you could stay with tilt, Because you don't need...
No. Right, let me stop you right there. Steering with tilt is fucking annoying. It's not needed for road rash. Just swipe, left and right. Simple. Or swipe to kick.
Yeah, for long corners, you need...
Oh, no, but... They'll put degrees of accuracy in which you don't want. You want either you're turning right or you're not. That's what you need.
Turning right, turning left. No degree of accuracy. Tilt, left, right. Right thumbstick is your accelerator. Right thumbstick's your brake.
That was 2 right thumbsticks.
Sorry, left thumbstick's your brake. Left thumb is your brake.
How do I hit people? Do I have to headbutt the screen?
No, you've got it. Swipe. Quick.
I know, but you have to let go of accelerator. I don't.
No, if your lower left thumb is brake and your swipe motions, it can work.
Did you ever brake on road rash?
No.
Then you don't need brake or accelerator. You just always go. Simple. Your hands are free to do various things. You could do this crazy combination that gets you off your bike, fly kicks them and steals their bike if you really wanted to.
Okay, yeah. So left and right thumbs is punch and kick left and right. Auto accelerating, auto braking, job done. Get on with it.
Make it. Job. Yeah. If anything, we deserve credit for this because we've just designed your game.
I think we have. I think we deserve a beer for that.
I think we deserve a beer. I wonder what people think of us. I do genuinely wonder what we come across as. I asked someone, how was this week's podcast? Because they said they actually listened to it. Same as always. That's not useful feedback. We don't know.
We have no idea.
That could mean, it's brilliant, I really enjoy listening to it. There's a reason you got 2 listeners. When genuinely no idea. Microtransactions on the subject because we mentioned them.
Fair enough. Yeah, they're
coming to a game we don't give a shit about.
Yay! Well, they're coming to a game that killed FPSs. Yay!
So, Call of Duty, in case you haven't guessed.
I'm actually hoping that this goes well. Well, it goes badly, but goes well at the same time. But it goes... Call of Duty has killed modern gaming.
Yeah.
Now, if microtransactions can kill Call of Duty, maybe maybe we can end the dark ages of gaming that we're in.
I like your logic. The thing is, you call it the dark ages, but I like to think we're in the beige ages because we're being held up by the indies. The indies are the lifeblood.
I am comparing it to that couple of 100 years that religion kept everyone behind because technology and everything else was heresy. Seriously, if it wasn't for religion, we would have flying cars by now. Fuck's sake.
Yeah, damn it. We do have flying cars, they just cost a fortune.
No, everyone would have a flying car if religion hadn't held us back.
Can you imagine everyone in a flying car?
Yes!
Right, imagine, turn up to any junction at rush hour now. You can't stop a flying car to let another one go by it.
No, but you can go over the top of it.
You're blowing my mind. 3D? Woohoo! No, crazy. So, what were we talking about?
Microtransactions.
Microtransactions in COD Blops.
Yeah, why? I don't understand how.
I won't mind. They're charging you for the ability to take a screenshot.
Yeah, that's
I mean, this is just hilarious. This is the kind of stuff that PC gamers wet their pants at because it's just ridiculous. You get 40 screenshots for $2.
Extra slots pack, yeah. 10 extra creator class loadout slots.
I wouldn't mind. This is the most expensive game you can probably buy in a shop.
Yep.
And they're adding this on. But the worst thing is people will pay it because it's full of kids. And kids don't pay for this. Parents pay for this.
Yeah.
Fuck you, kids. Sorry.
The ability to save screenshots. This is only on that can only be on the Xbox version. It can only be...
Surely PlayStation doesn't have screenshots, does it?
No, you can take some games, depending on whether they're coded in or not, can take screenshots.
So there we go. So they've literally turned it a feature off. They've made it so it goes to the cloud, so they can check
I don't know how I did it. I don't even know what button combination I pressed, but somehow I managed to take a screenshot of Plants vs Zombies on my PlayStation. I don't know what I was doing, but
was it the button on your camera? Were you pointing it at the screen?
No, because it's saved on my PlayStation and I don't know how to delete it.
Oh, done.
It's there. It's there. It's the only thing in my photo gallery.
Is it like one of those developer things where they hide it away and people just don't?
Because you know when
Did
you
type in the Konami code?
when you go over in the media bar interface and there's the photos section, it's the only thing in my photos section.
I have a picture of a car from Gran Turismo in there.
Yeah.
That's it.
Do you know how you took that picture?
Yeah, it's got a photo mode.
Ah, fair enough.
I wouldn't mind. It's not a photo of me racing. It's a photo of my car parked under some trees with the lighting all pretty.
You pretentious bastard.
Well, yeah, why do people want to do that? I was testing it out. I thought, I could change the lens. I can do all sorts. I can make it look cool. Fisheye, yeah! I'm bored now. I want to go race. I don't understand this nonsense. A game is made to be played. Taking a picture is not playing a game. You don't own that car. You can't get in it and drive off. You're just taking a picture of a car you don't own but want to own but can't afford.
Yeah.
You're pretty much just taunting yourself. Anyway.
I don't know
I've
what
been
you
quite ranty, haven't I? I'll calm down now.
But you don't have to. It doesn't bother me.
Michael Pachter. What a lovely gent. He's Mr. Patcher. He's an analyst. He's very able.
He really is.
He's really fucking annoying. And he generally states the obvious, or what we think's obvious. I'm starting to think now, maybe are we so intelligent that we are predicting where the industry's going? Because we've got everything right so far. Anyone listen to this, just take note of everything we say because it happens. But his predictions are Microsoft to win the next generation.
The reasons, though,
These are ridiculous.
I'm not discounting Microsoft winning the next generation. But I don't care who wins the next generation, for the record. Whoever wins it, having a TV tuner and Skype as your killer apps are not going to win it for you.
Well, you know, there's a reason for this as well, because you know what my TV already has?
Skype?
A TV tuner. You know what I can download from my TV if I ever plug it into the internet?
Skype?
Skype.
Yeah.
Why the fuck would I buy an Xbox console when, let's face it, they're probably going to charge me a gold account subscription to use it?
Yep.
It's a Skype.
I'm sorry, Skype. Which device should I Skype on? Should I Skype on the PC, or perhaps the mobile phone, or the tablet, or anything?
It's on everything. We don't need another device for Skype. I understand it being built into TVs, which is becoming quite standard.
The only reason Skype will be a killer app for the Xbox and not the PS4 is because Sony will not be given the rights to have Skype by Microsoft because they're a bunch of cocksucking bastards.
And what they're saying as well is Sony will thrive in the next generation, still playing catch-up. Those words don't make sense, Mr. Patcher. Because Sony have outsold the Xbox
In many regions,
in a year less time.
Yeah.
The only place they haven't is America. Is he being so centric on one region?
Yes.
What a knob! Is Nintendo software still king? But let's be honest, it's not king. It's not. The Wii was king. The Wii used... He even admits...
The Wii pissed all over the last generation.
Yeah, but he's even admitting here that console hardware sales for the Wii U will be challenged.
Yeah.
Which... Yeah,
well,
without hardware, you don't get the software.
Nintendo would admit they're not giving up on the Wii U anytime soon.
They can't.
They admit that it's had a... Because I think it was Miyamoto.
Slow start.
It's had a bad start, and they admit that they probably misstepped with some of the decisions they made.
Yeah, sorry, I'm reading the next few as well.
But they're now looking at it with a longer game, in that it's as powerful as it needs to be for quite some time to come. Their control pad the gamepad gives them features that the other consoles haven't got yet. And once a few more people start picking it up, then there's no reason why it couldn't just... It'll be a slow burner, like most good Nintendo consoles.
Yeah. He's also saying handheld hardware sales will lose share to smartphones and tablets. That's a bit of an awkward one because I still think there's a market for him at the moment anyway.
Yeah.
So fair enough, this is going into the future, but I think he's a bit off on that. The next few are interesting. Won't lose any more publishers to bankruptcy. That's probably because a lot of them have already gone bust.
Yeah, I shouldn't laugh because I really don't want any more publishers to go bankrupt. But yeah, talking shite.
And then he's gone on about other nonsense, but Paddy's changed the tab, so I can't remember what they were. Thank you.
I was looking at the rest of his screenshots because he's got lots more to say.
We may see consolidation, so more companies coming together and blah blah blah. The best one, PC gaming isn't dead, it will make a comeback. I think he could have gone into more detail there, because the PS3 now is a PC. Sorry, PS4 is going to be essentially a PC.
Yeah.
What is going to happen is consoles are going to be the lower end of the market.
Yeah.
And PCs, I see them now, they're going to end up more related to your media centre and so on. I imagine everything coming closer together. PCs, consoles, there's not going to be a massive difference. You'll just be able to make your own console with better graphics.
Yeah.
That's my dream.
Right, here we go. So just flipping through his notes, because this was at a presentation. Wii U's performance today underwhelming. Well, Nintendo themselves have admitted that. Essentially, here's his reason for it. Essentially, it's a DS split into two parts.
Okay.
It's a lot more powerful.
Yeah. Also, the two parts is a bit redundant because DS, dual screen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because it's split into two parts.
Yeah. Not innovative enough.
We do rip into him a bit too much. Sometimes a bit too
but
far.
he talks shite.
He does.
And
Brilliant. PS4 is impressive. Graphics are phenomenal.
And huge RAM.
Yeah, it's not got huge RAM. They've already admitted this.
No, but they weren't the only one. He wasn't the only one that said that this week. Somebody else was praising the power of the PS4 because it's got 8 gig of RAM.
Are we that stupid that we're just going to buy into
No. But console gamers are that stupid that they're going to buy into 8 gig of RAM is spectacular. My last PC had 8 gig of RAM. This one has 32 gig.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind, but
I can't actually remember how much I put in it.
That's always a good sign. His speculation, right? This is it. For the Xbox, he's saying built-in TV tuner. It's never done well in a console platform. I'm sorry, it hasn't.
32 gig.
You could get a PlayStation with a TV tuner.
Yeah.
But it just never took off. Connect bundled with every console. Not unlikely because they want to push it for the extra facilities it adds.
The same as they're going to put PlayStation Eye with every...
Integration of Skype. Well, yeah, they do own it. It would be a bit daft not to include it. Sorry, go on.
Next generation of consoles is probably the last. That was his other claim. At current rate, Wii U will likely sell 30 to 50 million units lifetime. PS4 is likely to sell 85 to 90 million.
He's got some interesting stats in here, though.
Yeah. The Wii sold 90 million units. So far. The Wii isn't dead yet.
Yeah, actually, it's still going. They've released the little one now as well, haven't they?
Yep.
But the stat I'm interested in is the one he's still got Microsoft outselling Sony there for this generation.
Yeah.
Which
apparently PS3 has sold 73 million units and the Xbox 75. So 2 million. In the terms that he's dealing with, 2 million difference means Microsoft is winning the battle.
Yeah, but the thing is, that's not true. Because I don't know where he's got his stats from, but Sony's at 77 million and Microsoft's at 76 million. So
he's still
something's not quite.
Hang on,
right
where is he?
What? What was that noise?
In his PS4 description, he's clearly a Microsoft fanboy because pricing is not yet for PS4. Pricing is not yet announced, but likely more than
what?
$599. He thinks it's gonna.
$600.
He thinks it's gonna launch at the above $600 mark.
Wasn't it only $499 when the last one released?
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know what to say, but January 9th it was reported that Sony had outsold Microsoft. we're not that big fanboys that we're going to stress this, but if somebody can't get the basic figures right, how can they even...
I don't know how you can give their opinion anyway.
I'm just being a fanboy here, but I don't care. It's true.
I don't care which one of them won the generation. I don't care which one of them won
It's
EA.
so close. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, most people have both.
1 or 2 million either way in the scope that you're dealing with 60, 70, 80 million. Does it fucking matter?
It's a couple of percent.
In fact, no. Those couple of million are replacements for broken consoles.
Yeah, fair point.
Because I've had... Well, no, I've had 1 Xbox. But I know people who've had 3. I know people who've had 2 PlayStations.
I've repaired the same Xbox 3 times for someone. I say repaired. I wrapped it in a towel to never be heated and remelted.
The previous generation of PlayStation, I had 4.
Yeah.
I had 4 PS2s.
The PlayStation at one point did suffer a little bit, didn't it? It had problems. It's just the way it goes. Either way, Patcher, no.
Yeah, should we stick in a song?
Yeah.
Okay, we're back, and that song was apparently called Pew 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 by QB. Or Cubby. Or Kubbi, is that Cubby or QB or?
I think Cubby. I'd pronounce that Cubby.
Cubby, fair enough.
Why not? Trevor, let us know how to pronounce these. We need the names phonetically spelled out in the future. It would make it a lot easier for us.
Have you seen the Visitor's Guide to Hull?
No.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's just descriptions of how to translate things into Hullian.
Did you see the recent we actually made national news?
No?
Some knobhead from... Sorry. I sound like a Hullian starting a sentence like that. Some young little whippersnap from Winifred Holtby, which is kind of the school tacked onto the side of where Joe works, decided to film himself punching somebody on a school bus repeatedly and then put it on YouTube. Yeah. Guess who's been expelled?
Yeah.
He's got in a lot of trouble, and I believe the police have been involved. And
well, I'll put the link up to this because it's just a list of how to translate Hull to English. So, no, I'm going to Hull is...
oh no, I'm going to Hull.
Yeah. Summer up.
I like Gizzer Croggy.
Yeah.
Request for a ride on the crossbar of a bicycle.
It's just brilliant descriptions.
All of C. Rugby team. Boulevard. It's not the home ground of anyone above anymore. That's. I think this is a little bit out of date, but I'm willing to accept it.
Yeah.
Bloody Tigers. Hull City have lost again. Well, this means nothing to anyone we're talking to, but this is how we speak. We're a bit weird.
British Air Stores.
Going on raid. Going shopping. Chance Ave. Same as above. It's not Chance Ave. You don't go shop. Chance Ave is right there. There's no shops anymore.
There are shops.
There's a few. There's a comic book shop, which shows what my priorities lie.
What?
Awesome flags. This is a horse on a pavement. What?
This is the...
I've never heard any of these.
Some of these are wrong, but there's been about 3 of these popped up. Pep.
The head of the Catholic Church.
Who looks a bit like Jim Bowen.
He does.
Have you seen the
he
pictures?
Looks a lot like him. I'm Maftin. It's rather hot.
Anyway, back to gaming news because I think we've lost
we've lost everyone on that one. Right, let's jump into the pissed on. Yep, it's been pissed on by Valve.
Well, it's been announced. It's been said that it's really, really messy. Basically, XI3, who make it, have stepped forward and said it will be officially priced to start at $1,000. The standard $999 model will come with 12 gigabyte of a 1 to 8 gigabyte SDD hard drive.
SSD.
Fuck it.
You've got one. You know what it is.
Yeah, but mine's decent.
Yeah, fair point.
A solid state hard drive with...
I'm sorry, but you what?
Hang on, right.
The difference between 128 and 256.
I didn't look at the spec. So for $999.99 for $1,000, you get an 8 gig of RAM, 3.2 gigahertz quad core, and a 1 to 8 hard drive, solid state. People, build your fucking own.
This is redonkulous. It's a mini ITX machine. Granted, there's not that many powerful mini ITX, but I've seen a quad-core Intel mini ITX. Yeah. There is such a thing.
Yeah. Sorry, for the same price, for that $1,000, I have built 32 gig of RAM, a 256 gig solid-state drive.
Ah, but yours is a funny shape and really little, is it?
No, it's not. It's functional. A 1 terabyte hard drive, for actual storage of data. You know, the thing that people will want to do with these things. Have fun storing more than 2 games on that thing.
Guys, screw that. Wait for PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
It's probably similar spec.
Well, this is it. 128 gigabyte hard drive. Once you've stored more than 2 or 3 Steam games on there, you're going to have to start deleting them. You're going to have to. People complain about the size of the hard drives in PlayStations and Xboxes. If that's what a SteamBox has got, it's already failed.
Yeah, you're also going to have to pay an extra $340 for the next model up, which I believe is about 2 times the price of a 256 standalone, not even upgrade price.
Yeah.
Because obviously you take a 128, you shave that price off, you put in a 256, you add that price on, and then add your margin. What they've done is they've gone 128's this much. If we put a 256 in there, well, the 128, we've paid for it. We'll charge them for that anyway. Then we'll add our margin. Then we'll add a bit more because I fancy a pint at dinner. Then we'll add a bit more because it's got a wedding.
Yeah, well, no, you can't.
Then we'll add a bit more.
You can't have a pint without scratchings. You've got to have both scratchings.
But this is the problem. They've added $340 for a 256 hard drive. Right, we know because your hard drive is 256, isn't it?
256.
256. You paid about 130 quid.
If that.
No, I believe it was about 130. I know, I stalked you for a week. Which works out in dollars to be probably around about $200.
Yeah, probably.
So, what that means then is they're charging an extra $140 for the joy of installing it. It's just silly.
And then I put a terabyte normal hard drive in there. They don't mention any normal hard drive for storage.
Yeah, because they can't fit it in, because it's a ridiculously small form factor.
Yeah.
Oh, and it won't play half the games on Steam.
Well, I'm just thinking of my Steam collection. I know that I've got at least 2 or 3 games in my Steam collection that are well over 20 gig installs.
Yeah, but are these MMOs by any chance?
No, they're not.
Oh.
I think Saints Row 3 properties. Local files.
That's 10 gig.
10 gig. That's so one of them.
Let's say that's an average. You get about 12 games worth because you don't get 128 gig because that's silly rounding error and OS.
And an operating system. Yeah. So yeah, you've got 12 games before you have to start removing shit.
Enjoy that, guys.
The moment you start putting patches on anything, I think Metro might be a rare example. Local files.
Well, that's actually less.
8 gig. But then I haven't got any of the DLC.
Yeah. Look at it this way. The whole point of the SteamBox is that you can play all your Steam games on it. I'd be very surprised if it can play all the Steam games, if I'm going to be honest.
Yep.
And it's too expensive to be a little commodity box. If you're just going to play the indie games, fine. But a Raspberry Pi can do that.
Yeah.
You don't need something of that power. Oh, you got the demo.
Yeah.
Have you played it yet?
Not yet.
Oh, play it!
The demo alone for XCOM is 6 gig.
Wait till you play it. It's awesome.
I know, but that's the point.
People actually think I'm being paid by them to promote this game, but XCOM is the best game I have
it's
played.
It's
in
on
a
my
long
list
time.
of games to play, but I want to do it with YouTube in hand.
Okay.
I want to actually record the gameplay and put it online.
Well, the problem is, what you're going to record, unless you play it for some time, which I don't think you'll get with a demo, is you kicking ass and not actually meeting anything of any great intelligence.
That's actually the primary gameplay. I'm playing through StarCraft and Sonic All Stars Racing Online.
You know what the best thing was for me? I was playing it the other day, and it's old style gameplay, so you can save at any point.
Yeah.
Luckily, I'd saved at a certain point where...
Can you have multiple saves on the go?
Yes. Thank God, yes, because you need it. I had, all of a sudden, what was described as a battleship come down, and literally, no matter what I flung at this thing, it wouldn't go down.
Yeah.
So what I did was... Because I've got all my little fighter crafts dotted around the world. None of them where this thing was landing, just my shitty ones. So, I reloaded my last save, moved anything powerful to that area, and then waited. And when it came down, I attacked it. It's great. It blew up, crashed to Earth. I had to go and invade the thing and to get any resolving technology, kill all the aliens, so on. The most badass thing on this level, I'm sure there's probably worse, but this is an ethereal, and it's one of the first times I've really come across it.
Yeah.
It's a badass thing that can kind of damage anything really easily, kills troops and so on. I walked into a room with it in, and it fucked off, it ran away! I just chased it around the map for 5 minutes, but because I know how badass it is, I didn't dare run troops at it, so everyone was moving like a little bit up the map each time and covering each other. And I finally found it cowering in a corner and killed it in about 4 shots. I felt a bit let down, if I'm going to be honest, because I spent ages chasing the bastard thing.
Well, anyway, they announced the pricing for it, and as you can tell, we aren't all that convinced that it's a good idea.
It's a powerful mini ITX machine, but
anybody that seriously wants a SteamBox will have built a SteamBox by now.
Yeah. That's a fair point, actually, because that's a lot of money to spend.
Anybody that wants a PC attached to their main TV will have built a PC attached to their main TV by now.
Current exchange rate, that's about 800 quid, with tax.
If I wanted a SteamBox, you know what I'd do? I'd go fix I'd go replace the motherboard in that dead PC that's sat upstairs. That's actually almost as good as any of the current generation consoles.
There you go.
It's up there collecting dust. I don't know what to fucking do with it. His motherboard's screwed, so I can't do jack shit at the minute.
Well, I have plans for my PC.
I know you've got plans. Yeah.
It's a complete waste of what it is, but I don't care.
But on top of that, what happened after they announced the pricing is Valve stepped up on the whole SteamBox thing, and apparently they have no involvement with the piston.
It sounds like Steam were talking to the head of XI3 or
yeah.
And just went, it'd be really cool if we could have a low-powered little kind of powerhouse machine that could play Steam. And that guy went, right, they're offering to fund it, let's make it. And then they've gone, no, we just mentioned it. And then you've got XI3 coming back with, well, they said they wanted it, and we said we didn't.
Well, yeah,
and, yeah.
Basically, Valve popped up and said it's not a SteamBox. Stop calling it a SteamBox. We never commissioned a SteamBox. We may have begun some exploratory work with XI3 last year, but currently have no involvement with any project of theirs. Please stop calling it a SteamBox.
Fair enough.
This is it.
As somebody puts out at the end of this post, they mentioned the fact that they'll just get a 10-metre HDMI cable, wireless keyboard and mouse, job done. And even then said, nah, that's too much effort, I'll just haunch over my PC desk. Which, let's face it, we're all going to do.
Yeah.
Because every single...
Well, I don't. I lounge.
Okay, you have your loungy chair. But every single bloke in the world...
this loungy chair.
Every single bloke in the world concedes when they want to play games. 9 times out of 10, there's something on TV the missus is watching.
Yeah.
I say missus, the other half. For me, it's missus, but obviously, plenty of girl gamers. Their blokes are probably watching Wife Swap. They want to play some games. That's just how it is.
Well, this is it. Me and Joe have agreements now. When she's watching something crap, she is not allowed to be offended when I put my headphones on and ignore her completely.
See, I've started that. You can see we're going down the same route. I've started that now.
So, if I don't answer her because I've got my headphones on, it means she's watching something crap, and I'm not in the wrong.
Well, the great thing for me is that Fiona doesn't watch anything good.
Yeah.
So technically, I can play games non-stop.
All you need now is a second TV to put your console on.
Yeah.
Or is she using Netflix to watch everything?
No, what's going to happen? I have a second TV.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a games room in the new house. What she hasn't realised. That means the PlayStation's not going to be under the TV.
Yeah.
Which means all of that lovely on-demand content is gone.
I'm buying a Raspberry Pi just for that.
Yeah. I think I may have to as well.
I'm going
to
get a Raspberry Pi and put the Android operating system on it. Somebody's ported Android OS to it.
Nice.
Which means you can have TV catch-up. So that's your Freeview channels.
Yeah.
You can have Netflix.
Do me a favour. Before you put that on it, run MAME on it, get some old arcade games and let me know how they run.
I need to buy it. It'll be bought in the next. Anyway, yeah. Valve stepped forward. We're going off track again. Valve stepped forward.
Nobody cares. Valve said they're not interested. It's nothing to do with them.
Yeah, and then the XI3 guys popped back up and said, "Well, Valve asked us to build the damn thing."
Yeah, which to me sounds like bollocks. Because let's face it, there must be some kind of involvement between the two, or they wouldn't have built it. Or they built it on the assumption that people would kind of put two and two together. So.
Yeah, Valve asked us to build it. What Valve does or doesn't do with the SteamBox will be up to them. So, Gabe, it's up to you. The ball's in your court.
It sounds like they've changed their mind, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Build us this. Oh, shit, guys.
Well, basically...
we did not think this through.
Do you want to know how this sounds to me? This sounds perfectly plausible to me. That Valve was experimenting with the idea of a possible SteamBox. And they approached a few micro RTX builders, and XI3 were the first ones to take them up and started building the idea up, and then after that they got a couple more on the go, but XI3 had already had the impetus from Valve, so they were the leaders at that point, which was why they were the first to mention at CEX, why Valve were there announcing with them at CES, because Valve were there at CES when the piston was announced.
Yeah, they were.
So and now, since people have shown an interest in a possible micro ITX unit, the other ITX creators have popped back up and have managed to put together a console in a fraction of the time, because building a micro ATX PC is not difficult. And now Valve are trying to distance themselves because they don't want to get locked down to one.
They want to be the platform rather than the one machine.
Yes. So that basically, I think it sounds to me like XI3 have been screwed by Valve.
Well, you remember the old I can't remember what it's called, but Intel made a lot of badges for a lot of different things. Intel Centrino, let's use that as an example. I think Steam want to do the same thing.
Yeah.
They want to build like a certification system.
Yeah.
This is Steam plus 3 or whatever nonsense. To say it will run this, and this. Which, to be fair, would be quite useful.
Yeah.
But there's a bit of pettiness going on here, I think.
But basically, I think this is the start of the end of Valve.
No.
No. It won't. Valve won't die, but I think this is the start of the end of Valve, the good guy. Because
they're going to become a company now.
I think this is the start of them heading down. Well, they've been down corporate lines for a long time, but they've managed to keep their gamer cred. This could be the start of them starting to fall off the wagon and make bad corporate decisions, bad business decisions that are going to come back to bite them in the ass. Because if it turns out that Valve were behind XI3 all along, were with them, were along the way, and then just cut them loose because it proved a good idea for more than one SteamBox.
I think it's simpler than that. I think literally Valve have kind of worked with them and said, we're thinking of doing this kind of system. Could you make us something, maybe as a concept? If it's not under NDA, they might have just gone, fuck it, let's release it as a machine.
No, but that works up until a point where Valve were there with XI3 at CES announcing the damn thing and using the words SteamBox.
No, they specifically said it wasn't the SteamBox. I'm pretty 900% sure they said specifically it wasn't a SteamBox. They made certain. In fact, they stressed it so much that it made you kind of think, well, why the hell are you there announcing it?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think this... Whatever it is, XI3 has got screwed, and they're charging too much for the damn console, so it's not going to sell.
They made a console that only appeals to a niche market, is overpriced, underpowered, and just isn't worth anything. So moving on. What else we got?
Where do you want to go?
Assassin's Creed is not Syria.
Yeah.
And Danish TV has apologised.
that was awesome. Yeah.
They mentioned Syria. They put a backdrop in the background while the news presenter went on.
Right. What happened? What was brilliant about it is it was a talk about Syria, and they went into the fact that Syria used to be Damascus and all that lot. And one of their researchers, when Googling for a picture of Damascus, mistook Assassin's Creed Damascus for a picture of that era's Damascus.
Right, all credit, because that means your graphics are pretty good.
It also means that your researcher's a retard and doesn't realise that pictures weren't around when Damascus was Damascus.
Why are they all in black and white? That was a joke, by the way. I realised I didn't have any camera at the time. Yeah.
But yeah, they showed Damascus from Assassin's Creed on the news. It's getting up there. It's happening more and more. This is a good sign for games graphics, really.
It happens a lot, but more than we'd like to admit, doesn't it?
Well, no, it happens quite a bit. They're the third this year. Well, no, not this year. Last year. Last year, in a news report about Syria, BBC broadcast a logo of Halo's United Nations Space Command when they were talking instead of the logo for the United Nations Security Council.
Nice. Oh yeah, I remember that one actually.
And ITV showed video footage of Armour 2 when talking about the IRA selling bombs to Iran.
I don't see the problem. Look at the Asian lot when they do like 3D
anime TV, yeah.
We're just doing the same. We're just doing it with style, damn it.
Yeah. Boy Scouts of America. They've unveiled a merit badge. They've added a new merit badge to their roster. A merit badge in games design.
I don't understand this. I'm lost. I don't understand how you get this badge.
See, it's not just video games. It's just there's board game, basically design.
Making a game.
Well, it's not even making; it's designing.
I made a game as a kid, right? Now, this is one that I'm happy for anyone to have because it will never go massive. But what you do is, if anyone has like a big fluffy carpet, you get a CD, you stand at opposite ends of the room and make goals.
Yeah.
You then fling the CD at the person across the room and try and get it in their goal. They're sat in the middle of their goal. They can easily stop it. But my fucking God, does it hurt when you do it. It's brilliant because it kind of glides on a cushion of air across a soft carpet. And the speed that it goes at, you can try and stop it and your only hope is hitting it dead on. If you get your hand down before the CD hits, your knuckles are red raw by the end of it.
Would that work on that mat?
No, it's too thick. You need kind of a nice balance. It's kind of got to be kind of fluffy.
The carpet at your new house.
Yes, that would do it.
Well, you have to play this.
Well, the problem is at one side there's the kind of the split level flooring, isn't there? So when somebody scores, it's going to fly off and either land in the fire or go through the window. So it might not work that well.
Can it not be done in the hallway?
That's wooden floors.
Ah.
Yeah. Oh, upstairs, actually, we might be able to. We'll have to try it. But honestly, this
we will have to play it while we're recording the podcast.
Playing this as a child whenever the parents are out. And the amount of times I come back with like cuts, bruises, all sorts all over my hands. Like, yeah, I was playing football at school and that happened.
That's okay, man.
It's good fun.
My parents to this day still think that my brother accidentally cut his fingers cleaning my car. He was being gobby in front of my mates and went, I could take you in a sword, because I was collecting samurai swords at the time. I could take you in a sword fight. And I just went, fair enough then. Stood there with one of my swords and he was swinging around the other wall. I just went, yep. Crack! Right across his knuckles, sliced them open.
Oh.
Quickly
the
took it.
Stupid things you do as kids.
Yeah.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
Quickly took it into casualty, got them all butterfly stitched, but they weren't that badly cut. Butterfly stitches only, glued up, and took him home. And yeah, he was being gobby, so I made him clean my car, and he was cleaning underneath stupidly rather than and sliced himself on the metal. fact that I didn't have a driving license.
Yeah, nice. That's good. I'm just thinking about. I know someone as a kid. I won't say who because then we'll have to bleep.
Yeah.
Someone I know as a kid. First time they ever tried weed, and what happened is they didn't exactly have a good reaction to it. They whited out.
Yeah.
They threw up constantly. Went home and told their parents, "Oh, I'm fine. I just hit my head." So a child turns up, is a bit disoriented, throws up constantly, and says, "I hit my head."
Those parents have never lived.
Can you imagine? Right, I'm going to take you to the hospital. No! No! So that was a story that got recounted so many times after that.
I'm looking forward to my kids coming back with that. Oh, you're ill.
Yeah, do you want some crisp? Yeah! You're not ill, are you?
No. Oh, you're not feeling well today. Oh, is that... Oh, you've got a bit of a tummy bug. No, you've got a fucking hangover. Piss off to school.
If your kids are drinking, I think you failed a little bit, right? Just a little. Kids shouldn't ever drink until they're at least 14, and that's within your kind of consent when they're drinking hooch. That's the only time.
My kid will never drink hooch. He will be given Guinness from birth.
Intravenously. I'm actually tempted to find some bottles of hooch and keep it.
Oh, mine will learn the way I did. It will learn to homebrew at 14.
Nice. On a similar note, we have to start homebrewing.
Yes.
I want to try and make some beer.
But
I'm sure it'll be awful, but I want to try.
I've done it once before. I made it from kits. If I go back into homebrewing, I want to do it properly. I want to get the hops. I want to boil them, and I want to properly brew it. But that shit's expensive.
Yeah. Oh
well. Where are we?
Microsoft have cancelled the Xbox Live Family Pack. That is all. That's literally it. That's all that matters. The Family Pack is gone. It's dead. It's dead. It's pushing up the daisies.
And it's
pining for the fjords.
It's a piss take, really. They're now going to make people pay for 4 full Xbox Live subscriptions rather than paying for 2 and getting 2 free.
I'd be surprised if people don't start cancelling accounts. Because how many people have 4 people playing at once? I mean, it's...
Well, no, you think about it, and if you're in a family household where you've got 2 kids, you have your Xbox Live account, you have your wife's Xbox Live account, and your kids' Xbox accounts. Basically, there are some people about to get very high achievement scores because they will now be sharing a single account.
It just makes more sense.
Apparently, Nvidia weren't happy. Their kit isn't in the PS4 because they couldn't make a profit on it.
Yeah.
Apparently, PlayStation wanted it for too low a price.
Well, the thing is, this is where AMD do well, because AMD can stick some of the processing in the processor because they've got their APU.
Yep.
And they can stick some of it on a dedicated card. So really what they've got is kind of a semi-crossfire setup there.
Yeah.
They've got 2
However,
processors.
Here's the fun part. Nvidia is supporting the PS4 with Pyhsx and a new system called Apex,
which
is an advanced physics extrapolation system.
Yeah, which means Pyhsx can run on ATI hardware. I never would have guessed.
Unless they're not supporting, unless they couldn't get the money to support PlayStation 4 for the graphics card, but could for a Pyhsx chip.
Bullshit. It's absolute bollocks. Pyhsx runs on software now.
Yeah, it runs
it's
on...
not even hardware.
No, if it runs on software now for Nvidia cards, but if it's an ATI card and they can put a Pyhsx chip on the board to give them Nvidia Pyhsx support. Now, the key thing here is the PlayStation 4 will have Pyhsx. Now that, for me, is brilliant news.
How it matters, it doesn't really matter. But
yeah,
how it matters?
How it happens.
How it happens doesn't really matter.
Yeah. But
we're going to be geeks and we're going to explore this a little bit because Pyhsx started on a chip.
Yeah.
What then happened is
Nvidia bought the company.
They bought the company and rewrote Pyhsx to work on
their GPUs.
Basically on CUDA. CUDA is kind of their language for general purpose processing units. Now there is a common language that has been established that would work across NVIDIA and ATI.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, the Pyhsx chip was just a little chip.
Yeah, it was just a processing chip.
Yeah.
It didn't have anything special about it. It was just a processing chip that allowed you to do extra processing that the machine can handle.
So the only thing stopping Pyhsx from working on ATI is NVIDIA, because they won't actually release it in an open source language, only in CUDA.
Now that,
which means now they might have.
Yeah. Do you want to know what that means? It means they've licensed it.
Or
they've
just given up.
Oh no, they've licensed. They've created the bridge and licensed the bridge to the developers.
There's no bridge. It was pretty much there to start with. They just locked it down.
Well, anyway, the point is that the NVIDIA have announced that the PlayStation 4 will have Pyhsx and their new Apex system, which is an advanced Pyhsx.
Guys, get ready for this. That means more dots when things explode.
Yeah.
Sorry, particles. Not dots.
But it does mean that there's no reason why a developer can't develop a game to its best graphical capabilities on the PC, because the console can now replicate the same functionality.
Fair point, it does. But there is still a problem with Pyhsx, and that's just the performance hit you take versus the graphical results.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it's a fair trade-off. I think there's better things to render.
Yeah, but there's a reason for that, and that's the fact that anybody who's used Pyhsx up until this point has had to make a point of making it Pyhsx enabled, and has tried. And if you're going to be making that effort, then you're going to want to show off that you're using Pyhsx. Whereas when it becomes available to everything, people are going to make much more subtle use of it, and use it to handle things like ground clutter, particle effects, and just basically throw them in. Not because they're making a point of using Pyhsx, so they won't make it big showy effects anymore. They'll use the little subtle effects that. What Avatar tried to do with its 3D effect and completely fucking failed.
Yeah. What I liked about Avatar's 3D effect was the fact that it had 3 levels. Foreground, middle ground, and background. Yeah. I remember watching it and thinking, sorry, sidetracked.
But you get what I'm getting at there.
I do. What I don't understand is Pyhsx originally was a chip.
Yeah.
I liked Pyhsx as a chip.
Yeah, I did.
Because it didn't have to be as expensive as it was, because now the power that it had you could probably put on something like a Raspberry Pi. But you could have a little low power chip that sits there and does Pyhsx, and it wouldn't have to have any kind of bandwidth or anything. It could just sit there and do its job. Everyone could have that if NVIDIA didn't license it and weren't bastards.
My point is that basically, if they do this, then Pyhsx will be there for everyone. People will stop trying to make a point of done with Pyhsx. The same way as everybody made a point of, we have bloom effects. And everything just bloom. Everything just fucking glowed. Once people got used to bloom, it toned down.
I remember Call of Duty 4. This is the best one. I ran from a dark area to a light area, then got shot the shit out of because I couldn't see a thing. There was so much bloom. Yeah. Everything was in my face.
But that's the way it was. And now every game has bloom effects. But because every game has it, they've toned it back down. They've got sensible with it, and nobody notices it anymore.
Well, this is the annoying thing. Technically, when Call of Duty did bloom, it was realistic. You know, when you run from a dark room to a light room, you go, whoa.
Yeah.
That's fine. But when you put it in a competitive thing, you're actually at a disadvantage from having higher graphics.
Yeah.
And I think there needs to be different graphics for single player to multiplayer.
Yeah, okay, yeah. No, I agree with that.
Because if, for example...
Even Warcraft, I can give you that example.
Oh.
I actually have certain things disabled in the low graphics game World of Warcraft. I have certain features disabled Because there is an effect where when your character is drunk or dazed, the screen will get blurry.
But you can just turn that off because you can't render it.
Yeah, you can turn that off because your system can't render it.
Some of the best Call of Duty players played on 800 by 600.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers, right?
Yeah.
I've never understood this. Because this whole thing about competitive gameplay should have a level playing field. It only works on consoles, and that's why I can see consoles doing so well.
I turned it off because I turned the blur effects in Warcraft off because they pissed me off. Not because they affected my gameplay. If I died on the boss, I don't give a shit. The rest of the group really get pissed off, but I'm just thinking.
You know what I'd do if I was making a game now? Instead of a drunk effect with blurriness, because let's face it, everyone has that thing.
Yeah.
I would literally just have what looks like a giant pair of eyelids just closing slowly and opening again. But you're 3 miles across the map by the time they open again.
No. You know what I'd do? And improve the polygon count on each of the character models.
Make them prettier.
So you've got to be drunk to get the best polygon count on all the models.
Suddenly everything becomes more attractive.
Basically, the drunken game.
Yeah, and you can instant travel. No matter what.
Basically,
no matter where you are. Press a button, you're there.
And no matter what you do, the moment you log out, you wake up at home.
I think we were onto something here. Definitely. I think they missed a trick. I have no idea where we are.
Right, so we've done EA, we've done PS4, Boy Scouts, we've done them.
We
Xbox.
should do trailers for our podcast. If we just took that last clip, that was interesting and funny. It hasn't happened for so long. The rest of the podcast been shit. But that bit was good. We could do a trailer. It's like clips like this and that. And
Nintendo lost $30 million today.
yeah, which is,
In
let's
fact,
face
it was today as well.
in the grand scheme of things, that's not all that much.
No, but the reason they lost it is due to...
That crazy inventor guy.
We mentioned a couple of weeks ago that an inventor of 3D glasses-free 3D was suing Nintendo for ripping off their idea. The court has upheld that claim. Nintendo are appealing, but has upheld it and said, "Yeah, you owe him $30 million. Thank you very much."
And they've gone, "Oh, all right, there you go." 30 million is, as bad as this is, it's not that much money these days. That inventor, though, will be loving it.
Yeah.
And to be honest, if he did invent it, he deserves it.
He did used to work at Sony.
Yeah. So if he did come up with that idea, he deserves the money. So
yeah. EVE Online switching to using BitTorrent for their update client, which is about time. It's always good when you can have streaming MMOs. And one problem with MMOs is updating. They always constantly have to be updated. And yeah, BitTorrent's a good way for it.
It saves them money and saves everyone else a bit of time, so why not?
Okay, Nintendo not being so good. The Wii U looks like it's about to get a Pokemon game.
But they've been good about it. Come on, this is...
Okay, yeah. The Wii U looks like it's about to get a Pokemon game. It also looks like it's about to get a Pokemon Skylanders game.
Right. For anyone who hasn't ever seen Skylanders and been living under a rock, Skylanders, you pay ridiculous amounts of money for a toy you put on a
Anybody
pad.
listening to this podcast knows our hatred of Skylanders.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. Trevor, you know Skylanders, don't you? Exactly. Right, so Skylanders, you buy a toy for a ridiculous amount of money, you stick it on this stupid pad that came with the game, you unlock content. It's frustrating because of the cost associated, especially when you paid full price for a game. Nintendo, they're like good guy Greg of the meme world. What they've done is they've reduced the cost of the original game down to about 12 quid. Instantly accessible. Fair enough. And...
oh, hang on, this isn't just a rumour, I've just reread it.
yeah, it's actually a thing.
It's actually a thing. It's announced for Japan, but it's not announced over here yet.
And figures are going to be about £1.40. So in American terms, it's £18.80 for the game and $2.10 for each figure. That's fine. That's fine.
That's what you paid on those little Lego fuckers that you kept giving me.
Well, that's it. I bought Lego for more than that. I'd pay $1.99 for a little thing to unlock more characters. I will not pay £5 for a stupid character. I will not pay £20 for a pirate ship. That's not what it does.
Yeah, the game is based on. It's basically the Wii U version of Pokemon Rumble.
I'd like to listen to myself back because that must have sounded like some prepubescent child.
Yeah, but the game is based on Pokemon Rumble. It's the Wii U version of Pokemon Rumble, and you will buy characters and so on and so forth. It's announced for the Japanese Wii U. There's no announcement on European or American prices yet, if it will reach those regions. Now the thing is, we said all along, what is the point of the NFC beyond Rayman Legends, which showed it in its trailer, for the NFC chip in the gamepad? And this is it.
But let's be honest though, NFC as a technology is one of those what's the point technologies.
Yeah.
Everyone has it in their phone, but nobody uses it.
Very few people have it in their phone. There's very few phones that actually have NFC built in.
A lot of them have it now. I've got it.
You've got the Nexus 4.
I like to taunt that every now and again. Nexus, sorry, the Galaxy. Stop pointing a gun at me. He's gonna shoot me. Ah, the ribs. Right, Paddy has a gun and it hurts. The Samsung Galaxy S whatever has it.
The S3 has it, the S2 didn't.
No, but the S3 is one of the most popular phones on the planet and that has it. So a lot of people have NFC now.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily know what they're going to use it for. All that thing about credit cards is bollocks. I can get a credit card out of my wallet quicker than you can get to your app on your phone, get to your credit card and tap the machine.
Do you want to know what I don't like about NFC on credit cards? Swipe. Right, okay, you've now validated that you're the right person. How is that safer than having to type in okay, yeah, it's only a 4-digit code, and admittedly, if anybody watched me type in the code, they'd probably be able to guess what it was.
Yeah.
But I still have to type in that fucking code to get money out of my account, rather than just wave a bit of plastic at a tiny chip of plastic that several people in London. The Oyster card works on NFC.
Yep.
Several people in London took the chip off the Oyster card.
You can mount it in anything, can't you?
And mounted it in toy Harry Potter ones, so that they could walk up to the train machines, wave them and tap, and they could walk through. I've watched people do that in the London.
That is a good use.
I have watched people do that in the London Tube Station. It is a brilliant use, yet at the same time proves the flaw of NFC.
Yeah. But let's face it, it's a ridiculous concept anyway. The idea of having all of your cards in your phone is a nice idea, but like I said, you've got to open up the app.
Yeah.
You've got to tell it what you want it to do, and then you've got to swipe. Right, by the time I've done that, I can get my wallet out, have my card out, and in the machine in about 3 seconds.
I can type my PIN number faster than that.
Well, there you go. It's just
because I know my PIN number that well. It's muscle memory at this point.
What you need to do if you want to be able to pay for something that simply is just stick your thumb on a machine. It reads your thumbprint. It's secure. It's sorted. It's done. That's what you need to pay for something.
Darren Brown proved it. One of his tricks is he can tell anybody their PIN number.
I bet you couldn't tell me mine.
I bet you could.
I bet you couldn't because I'm not quite sure myself.
Okay, maybe you are. But basically, he asks them to put their hands on the ground, hands on the table, and think of their PIN number, and that's all it takes.
You just watch the twitches
because your muscle memory will twitch in the right way, and he will be able to read that muscle twitch.
So I know everyone does this, but I think he would struggle with me.
Yeah.
Namely for the fact that, depending on what mood I'm in, I type it differently each time. I know it's the same thing, but sometimes I use one hand, sometimes I use two, sometimes I use different fingers.
Yeah, but your core muscle memory will do it.
My muscle memory just says, fuck you.
Right, so, yeah. That's Skylanders doing it right. Keep it low in price, we'll buy it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well done, Nintendo. You've done something right.
Nintendo do right. Rift have seen an increase in their player base via Raptor.
Yeah, I like this because we covered it, didn't we?
Yeah.
First.
Raptor Rewards is a brilliant system.
I think we even said at the time this is going to actually do well.
Yeah, we when it first started coming out, I mean, I've already claimed quite a few rewards. At the minute, one of the rewards you can claim, if you've got a Raptor account, is if you played a certain list of games. I can't remember which games are on the list.
I'm just going to nod and smile.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
You get access to the Defiance beta.
Nice. So is it any of these games or just some of them you had to play?
Any of them. So if you played one of them beyond a certain level, it's...
That's depressing. That for your World of Warcraft you have this bar that's so close to the end, which suggests you've played it quite a lot. You're only just behind Roy.
If we look at my all-time gameplay statistics...
Oh, they're not ours, are they?
They are.
Paddy, you need a life.
They did actually cross over...
Especially because Wrath of the Lich King is separated.
Yeah.
Come on, Paddy. Split Second? Fucking hell.
Split Second is my
put
third...
a lot of time into that.
Third most played game of all times, with Plants vs Zombies as fourth.
What do you do all day? Do you have a job? I got 100 hours on Battlefield and thought, my god, I'm addicted. You've just trounced me. With...
No. You're taking the piss out of my World of Warcraft statistics.
Well, yeah, I think it's quite rightly so.
775 hours. Do you want to know how many hours the number one player in my friends list has played?
Oh, go on then, have a look. Oh my god.
Do you want to read that number?
Is that 400? Oh, wait. 14,405 hours. Right, I'm going to put that into context. You carry on talking. Because 14,000 hours means nothing to anyone unless I get a little calculator. So, no, you're supposed to be talking. That's
I'm looking up the Raptor rewards.
241 days.
Yeah.
Non-stop playing.
Recorded. Non-stop playing. Because Raptor hasn't been going that long.
Oh, for fuck's sake, you sad bastard. There is a limit, isn't there? There's a point where you go from being, wow, you're a legend, to, dude, get out more.
Yeah, right. At the minute, there's 4 Raptor awards active. There's the Defiance beta, which to acquire that, you have to be newbie or above, which means you basically have to have played Arma 3, Battlefield, Dead Space, Call of Duty, Fallout 3. Basically, any modern era shooter.
Yeah.
And the moment you've got above newbie in any of them and run the Raptor desktop app once, you are entitled to a free beta code for the Defiance beta.
Cool. Except for Defiance. Oh yeah, that's the MMORPG.
It's the MMORPG cross-platform, cross-genre thing that TV to gameplay. Another one, Dead Island Game of the Year. If you played any selected zombie FPS, then okay,
to get that many hours since launch of World of Warcraft, you'd have to play an hour a day almost.
Yeah.
Right, that an hour a day doesn't sound like much, but that's consistently. That's half a day of gameplay each week.
Yeah.
In a year, that's 30 days of solid gameplay. Your friends have no life.
Yeah.
In fact, quote me,
anyway.
tell them.
Anyway, the Dead Island giveaway was they were giving away the PC edition of the game, and they gave away 10,000 copies of it.
Fucking hell. Gosh.
Yeah, and they're completely run out. But all you had to do was have your Steam account connected to Raptor, which anybody who's got Raptor is going to connect their Steam account, and be dedicated. So in the top 40% of any other.
Oh no! Right, seriously, right. Click that because zombie FPS title will.
The poster's being turned out.
Damn it! I bet that had Killing Floor in there. I know I would have been in the top whatever %, and I'd have it all on Steam.
Yeah.
I could have had Dead Island free.
Exactly. But this is getting us back to the point, which is Rift recently did a Raptor Rewards thing where once you got beyond a certain played percentage, you got given free stuff, and it worked because players, they saw a massive increase in player numbers and hours played per player.
It's pretty much overnight, wasn't it? It just jumped.
Overnight, it jumped, and it's retained that an increased player percentage. So before the promotion, it was on an average of 4 hours per day per player. During the promotion, it went to 6.3 hours per player per day, a 58% increase.
So it worked,
and it's retained that after the reward has ended.
It is coming down slowly, but people are playing it. So they reached their goal. They have more people playing for longer times.
And it's cost them nothing, because they were giving them cosmetic items, but that's it. People like free shit.
Yeah, and people like to dress ridiculously in games. So, job done.
Terra, another MMO, sticking on the MMO thing, has seen a 500,000 player increase since going free to play. Shock horror.
Yeah, it's hardly surprising, is it? It's free now, okay, I'll try it. And that's what they're doing, they're trying it.
Yep.
How many of them stick around is going to be the clincher, isn't it, really? If those people stay around, if 500,000 are still there after a week, or 2 weeks, or 3 weeks, or a month, or whatever, then they've done well. But it could be that this 500,000 are literally coming in, not contributing anything, and leaving.
Yeah.
So it's not that much on its own.
Right, switch on to Bioshock now. Now, we knew there was a Bioshock film in the works. We knew it had been cancelled.
Yeah.
We didn't know why. Now, Ken Levine has stepped forward and explained exactly why. Basically, what happened is they released The Watchmen and didn't realise that The Watchmen was only going to do well amongst the very small fan base that had actually read the Watchmen comic. And the people that had read the Watchmen comic were going to be pissed off by the amount of giant blue penis and the complete bastardisation of the ending.
Yeah.
You never read the Watchmen comic, did you?
No, I've still not seen the giant blue penis, but one day I will.
You must enjoy both.
I know. I'm not sure enjoy is the term.
But anyway, what happened is, because Universal lost quite a lot of money due to Watchmen not having the box office reception that they expected it to, they got cold feet about funding a $200 million R-rated Bioshock adaptation.
Yeah.
And
rightly so, from their point of view.
No, from their point of view, rightly so. And they gave Levine and crew an ultimatum. Basically, either you lose the R rating, or you accept an $80 million budget rather than a $200 million budget.
The problem is that Watchmen doesn't... I know this is going to sound backwards, but Watchmen doesn't have the appeal that Bioshock does.
No, that's it.
It's really not that... There's nothing about Watchmen that makes you go, oh, I really want to watch that. There isn't.
Unless you're like me and...
Unless you're a comic book fan, yeah. Whereas Bioshock could actually be an interesting story outside of the gaming world.
Yeah.
It's something different.
Well, this is the thing. This article has actually taught me something that I didn't know. Ken Levine, writer and creator of Bioshock, started his career as a Hollywood scriptwriter.
Really?
Which is why he writes fucking good stories.
Yeah, fair point. He's just realised he can make more money elsewhere, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And in this case, he's Bioshock. He's done it well.
Well, that's it. Basically, when they said... his quote is, it was saying, I don't need to compromise. How many times in life do you need to compromise? One day it will happen when I've got the right combination of people. So basically, he wasn't willing to forego his creative influences, to forego his knowledge that the Bioshock movie would have to be R-rated. If they tried to tone it down, it wouldn't be Bioshock anymore.
Yeah, but it's got to be violent.
It's got to be violent.
Unfortunately, it has
and
to be.
the violence that would be in there. Well, the moment you put Little Sisters in there,
Yeah,
the Little Sisters alone become are a reason for an R rating.
They're pretty much just little drug addicts, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're dealing with drugs. You're dealing with genetic manipulation. You're dealing with murder. You're dealing with basically
Cool
this.
big daddies. They're awesome.
Yeah. So that's why we're not getting a Bioshock film.
But we will one day, maybe.
Zynga. Well,
Just because we like to throw their name out there every now and then. Come on, let's wrap this up, Paddy.
okay. They believe that the debate over originality is vastly overblown.
It's not. You copy everything. You lying bunch of cheating twats. Sorry, what?
Basically, his opinion is that, okay, we do copy a lot of people, but then so does every fucker else.
Well, yeah, they do. But the thing is, they don't copy generally...
Everything. That's the difference. They copy themes and they copy styles, but they don't copy the entire fucking game.
There's kind of influence or digital recreations of real world games.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, Poppy's just
I'm
Pictionary.
stealing your last beer.
That's fine. So, draw something, Pictionary. Simple.
Yeah.
Scrabble. Scramble. I like what they did there. Oh wait, no, what was it? It was Words with Friends.
Words with Friends.
Scramble is Boggle.
Yeah.
They've copied real world games. I'm not against that because it's nice to have a digital version. But when you are literally taking somebody's digital game, making a digital copy, and just changing a few graphics, that's just blatant plagiarism.
Farmville, Cityville, Towerville, whatever the fuck they called it.
They're all the same. It's just silliness. They're copying games that other people have made. That is where I draw the line. I'm happy for people to copy a game that already exists, like in the physical world.
Yeah.
Scrabble.
Well, no.
Monopoly.
Basically,
go nuts.
No. What they're trying to do was justify their copying of other games by saying that all games are derived from other games.
They are.
Now,
derived is the key word.
Yeah, derived and copied, very different terms.
Yeah.
And we'll leave it at that because Zynga are cunts.
That's twice you've used that word tonight. That is the word that is just... It's not on.
Does it pass a line?
Yes. There is a line. You know, the F word is kind of... It's close to the line. The C word, that's just over the line.
Fair enough.
Yeah. The Z word, you use that many times in that one. Nobody likes that one.
Retrograde, coming to Steam on the 20th of March. Now,
just
we don't
buy it.
Buy it, it's awesome.
We don't need anything more than that, just buy it. It's a good looking game. It's a hark back to 8-bit awesomeness, and they have really put the effort in. Just buy it.
And never ever play it at the same time as you're doing Wii Fit or on the...
What?
The first time I played it, I was doing the whole exercise thing, and I decided to do the Wii Fit, and
the
I did
whole exercise.
Yeah, I was trying to lose some weight,
Okay.
so I was doing Wii Fit, and I discovered that you could do the step aerobics thing in Wii Fit and turn the screen to something else. So I thought, I'll do this, and I'll play a game on the PS3 at the same time, and I did that, and then I put Retrograde on, which is a rhythm-based game.
Unless you start it at just the right time, you're gonna have a bad time.
No, because the moment you switch screens, you don't have the rhythm from the Wii U, from the Wii telling you exactly what to do.
No, but you're already doing it, aren't you? Because you're stepping.
Yeah, you're doing the steps to the rhythm. But the moment you put another rhythm-based game on, you start moving to the rhythm of the game that you're playing.
Did you fail the Wii U?
No, I failed. I passed the Wii U because it was free steps, so I could do as many as I wanted.
Oh, okay.
But the beats per minute on the tracks in I nearly fucking killed myself. I nearly passed out because of the speed of the tracks in that game. It fucking screwed me over royally. Anyway, that just leaves us with three bits of Kickstarter news, basically.
Cool.
First is that a brain control... I don't know if we talked about it, but there's a brain-controlled Kickstarter going on, created by the Digipen guys. Now, the Digipen guys are the ones that... Portal.
Yeah.
Portal 2.
Well,
Bacula Drop, the Paint Game, Quantic Dreams.
I think they've gone too far.
This was a Digipen graduate doing a Kickstarter for the game Throw Trucks With Your Mind. And basically, that if anybody ever played any of the Half-Life 2 Gravity Gun multiplayer matches, then you will know what this game is. Basically, it's flinging shit around the map at each other
with your brain.
But instead of in place of the actual trigger for the gravity gun, you have your mind control.
Yeah, so there's a few little kind of mind control headset peripherals. It reads it doesn't read
broad spectrums.
It reads the electronic signals coming from your brain. Unfortunately, we're not that good at controlling our electronic signals in the brain. It takes a lot of focus and energy just to do simple things.
But think of how impressive the multiplayer matches will be when people have started training their brain to do shit. Now imagine if it had been designed around RTS players.
Well, the way these headsets work, from what I've seen, is the main benefit is FPS. And I know this sounds like a weird thing. It's not,
because it's a focused point.
Well, the thing is, it doesn't actually read where you're looking. It doesn't read what you're doing.
It reads
what
your
it reads
focus.
is you going, oh shit, and it fires. So as long as you're pointing the mouse in the right direction when you go, oh shit, you shoot someone quicker than they can press the button. That's the benefit that I've seen so far. Now, this was granted about a year or two ago when I looked into it. But from what I've seen so far, you can do basic things. Like, for example, if you were driving, I've seen someone in an electric wheelchair control with the brain, and you would have to focus on shaking hands to turn right, or focus on slapping himself to turn left.
Yeah, that was the Top Gear one.
Yeah, it's one of these things where you have to literally think about something for it to happen. It doesn't necessarily measure what you're thinking of. It measures the difference.
This is
two different patterns.
This is not quite that detailed. Basically, what they're doing is... Did you ever play the Jedi... well, there was a cheap set knocked out for a Jedi mind trick, a Force thing. Basically, it was a band that went around your brain, went around your head, and detected overall brain power and would levitate the ball a certain amount based on how much you were focusing on it. This is closer to that.
Yeah.
But you could force vehicles to lift up and drop and throw across the map based on how much you were focusing, and because you've still got mouse and keyboard controls to move around and control the camera. The brain power is literally to focus the pick it up and throw it.
The simple bit,
which is the gravity gun part, and it looked pretty impressive. Particularly when you had a couple of players running around. One player would jump up on top of the car, and then the other player would go yeah and pick up the car and then throw it across the map.
You know what's better though? Gravity guns.
The gravity guns. The fucking games I had with that gravity gun.
This is the problem. I like the fact people are pushing the boundaries, but I don't think it's ready for actual gameplay yet.
No. Well, he's not. He's
only asked for 40 grand, so I can't.
He's only asked for 40 grand to make it, because he's admitted he's built this technology as an example. But in order to make it into an actual game, he needs other people on board.
Yeah.
And he's not asked for much, and he's managed to meet his Kickstarter. Another game that's managed to meet his Kickstarter is Dreamfall Chapters, which is good news, because Dreamfall was a fucking good game. Ragnar Tornquist can write a cracking story.
Yeah. We expect good things, don't we? Let's be honest.
Yeah. Chapters is episodic. That's the plan.
Nice.
And
there's plans to be a complimentary 2D point-and-click adventure to also be set in the Dreamfall universe. I should probably go back and play the Dreamfall games again.
I should probably play them.
And finally, Sir British is back.
He looks like a porn star. That's my problem. He doesn't look like an actual human.
Richard Garriott is back. He's joined Kickstarter. He's trying to push a new game called Shroud of the Avatar. I haven't looked into his Kickstarter campaign. It looks like a new RPG.
This is the kind of stuff you should do first. I know it's kind of a bit rich coming from me, but he's got a good following already as well. He really has. 23 days to go, and he's got how much left? About 400,000?
Of his...
Oh, sorry, 200,000.
He's got 200,000 left to get in 23 days.
Yeah, well, it's not even 200,000, it's just over 100,000. He's definitely going to make it. It's just true. But he does have a bit of a cult following. That seems to be the thing you need for Kickstarter. You have to be able to say, I've made this and this.
No, yeah. He made Ultima.
He's made some very good games. He's just made...
No, he hasn't. He made Ultima. He's been involved with a very lot.
Yeah.
He's been involved in a lot of very good games.
Involved in Guitar Hero. I'm curious as to how he was involved in Guitar Hero.
No. The team have been involved with Guitar Hero, Guild Wars 2, Dragon Age, Tabula Rasa. Don't put Tabula Rasa on any fucking artwork ever.
What a brilliant example of how not to do a game.
In fact, better than Tabula Rasa, they included the box art for Dark Void.
Yeah, that's not good, is it? Really? There's some very good games on that. There's also some very bad games.
I was an NPC in that game.
Yeah, you were, and it went bust.
I seem
the Curse of T1.
It's not the Curse of T1. It's the Curse of Paddy.
Yeah. Either way,
any game where I've appeared, it's died.
We expect good things from Mr. Sir British. Hopefully.
As long as he doesn't put himself in orbit again.
You know he will. But good things, bad things, either way. Well done.
Kickstarter's interesting all the time. I prefer not to.
That sounded like the most. Oh fuck it, yeah. Kickstarter.
No, I go on Kickstarter, and you know what I don't look at? The games category.
Yeah, I avoid it at all costs. I don't want to buy games from
because everybody I know, everybody's doing a Kickstarter, and it just makes me think.
Well,
no. The games that they're designing, I can do better than that. And
do it. Make a game and let me be at least slightly involved so I can get lots of money from it. Right? Is that allowed?
Get hold of me an iOS developer's license, and we will create a game.
I can even lend you a Mac.
Exactly. That's the problem. That's the only thing that stopped me. Well, I've got a game in my mind that would make millions.
There you go. It's been said. We shall release it someday on our website. You will play this game that has millions.
Anyway, we'll go on to the extra time stuff because we've got 6 minutes to ram it all in.
Pyhsx. Sorry. Bioshock Infinite trailer. Woo!
Not on Steak and a Blowjob Day.
It's gotta be done. So there you go, job done. Pay your respects to the father of video games. Just from the title alone, I can't guess what that story is.
Right, basically, PBS have been doing an Inventors series, which has been going off and exploring inventors of various things. And this week's video is about Ralph Baer. Now, he is widely accepted as the father of video games. He created the Odyssey console, which was one of the very first games consoles. Thing is, he's 90 and he's still inventing shit.
What's he come up with recently?
I don't know, but the fact that he is 90 and still inventing shit is kind of...
It's inspiring, isn't it? The fact he can still be going at 90.
It is a very, very good example. Inventions, here we go.
And the brown box console video game system, which pretty much is Odyssey by the sound of it.
Yeah.
And others.
First ever light gun.
Nice.
For home video games. Simon. The little four-colour thing, he invented Simon.
You bastard, he must be worth a fortune.
Maniac, which is obviously a spin-off. Won numerous awards, Inventors Hall of Fame, still up to it at least. He basically just hasn't given up. And it's fucking...
You know what, somebody needs to reinvent the light gun. I'm sick of not having a light gun at home. I know that sounds like a ridiculous statement, but Time Crisis,
Wii U!
Point Blank,
Wii!
bullshit.
The Wii had one.
It isn't a light gun. It doesn't fire where you're looking. You can't aim down the sight and fire. You just have to kind of know where it is. Because it does it off of infrared rather than from physical.
Okay, yep, no.
Just saying.
Do you know how the NES light gun worked?
It looks for a white pixel on the screen when you pull the trigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, see, I'm not daft.
It was beatable by a piece of A4.
Yeah. Which is quite clever, really. But anyway, let's move on. Well done, you legend, Ralph.
Yeah, watch that video. It's really interesting to learn about him. I didn't really know him all that well, but...
No. We just had a few drinks down at the pub, me and him.
No, I didn't know of him that much. I knew the name briefly, vaguely, but I didn't know much of what he'd done. Destructoid have ranked the best 5 city builder games that are not SimCity.
Funny that, isn't it?
Number 5, Anno 1404.
I like classic city games,
Yeah.
like the old style.
Number 4, Tropico 4.
Nice.
Number 3, Startopia.
Nice.
Number 2, Zeus, Master of Olympus.
Never heard of it, but looks good.
It's available on GOG. In fact, available
All
on
of
GOG.
them are
Available on Steam. Available on GOG. And number 1, SimCity 4. Before they started fucking with it.
Back when things were simple.
Honourable mention, Caesar 3, Faro, Cities XL, Anno 2070 and Stronghold.
Job done. Right.
Lego City Undercover trailer, very interesting. I want that game. Deadpool trailer, I want that
Another
game
one.
as well. Gears of War Judgment trailer.
We don't really care all that much.
I don't really give a shit anymore.
You've chopped one alien in half with a chainsaw, you've chopped them all in half with a chainsaw, haven't you? Come on.
Oh, that's Gears of War. I thought it was God of War.
No, Gears.
The only difference is you're dropping one god and it's alien god.
I feel there's a bit of an anti-DRM theme going on here.
Yeah. There's an interesting picture of what if EA made Solitaire, which Gal clearly hasn't seen.
Nope.
So I'm going to show him the picture.
Nice. That's a cheap effort, though, isn't it? Really.
Uh-huh.
You have been disconnected from the server. Please try your move again later. Yes, that is what it'd be like if EA made Solitaire.
Card deck DLC. Options: online, invisible, US picking your server. But anyway, what if household furniture had DRM? I'm going to pause because
I want to see.
I want to say, watch the video. It's great.
Yeah, it's just
basically 7 uses and the chair falls apart. But it falls apart in such a lame way, and is sat on by 7 hipsters. And
I get the feeling that somebody's trying to be artistic with this.
Yeah.
It's just a chair falling apart.
To be fair, even a solidly built chair, if you had 7 hipsters fall on you, you'd fall apart just to stop the fuckers sitting on you.
Just to be ironic. Bloody French.
And finally, there is an 11-minute NES tune, chiptune melody rock thing bollocks.
That's pretty much us done for the night. So
Job done!
Again, if you want to get in touch, I'm D_Gow on Twitter. He's DrunkenGamer. The website, or the generic one, is 8-Bit Gamer. We have a website,
8-Bit Alliance.
8-Bit Alliance. Sorry, I own 8-Bit Gamer.
Do you?
Yeah, 8-Bit 8bitalliance.com. Yeah, we're pretty much done. Bye.